even experts that time were not so familiar with Asperger. The doctors would say, you're just a parent that wants his child to be sick. And that was very devastating for me. Then the experts really confirmed that he has Asperger. And, believe it or not, I was at the same time thrilled and scared. So I started to cry and started to laugh.
Welcome to the Metautism podcast, where we're diving into the vibrant world of autism and championing inclusive education and employment. Join us as we explore innovative strategies, share inspiring stories, and analyze groundbreaking initiatives that celebrate differences and advocate for a future of equal opportunities. Let's get started. Hello. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Metautism podcast. I'm your host, Clara, and I'm very excited that I'm speaking with Maja Puškarić. Maja is a solopreneur, branding expert, and educator who lives in Austria with her family. Her middle child, son Gabrijel, has Asperger syndrome. This episode will be in two parts. In the first part, Maja will share her family story, the struggle to get to the proper diagnosis, as well as some challenges they might have faced when moving from Croatia to Austria, and so on. We will definitely learn more about Gabrijel from her perspective as a mother. And in the second part, she will share more about her entrepreneurial journey, especially because she developed several products that help neurodivergent people read, write, and now even lessen their anxieties and so on. Maja will share that in May. So please subscribe on YouTube or follow on Spotify. Maja, it's good to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Clara, and thank you for inviting me. And hi to everyone who is listening.
Let's start by asking you to introduce Gabrijel to us.
Gabrijel is a 17-year-old boy. He's not a boy anymore. He is very thin. I will say why. And he's now is almost big as me. High as me. And he has Asperger's. I would say he was special, but we use this word special too many times in too many maybe situations. But Gabrijel has definitely a different mind and different way of thinking. It was a bit of struggle in raising Gabrijel, especially in Croatia, because autism that was almost 10 years ago was not so popular, let's say. And it was something that many parents maybe would have been ashamed of, or, they wouldn't want to admit that their son or their child has autism, because we are used to autism only maybe the hard cases, not so mild as high-functioning autism or Asperger's. So, in short, that would be our Gabrijel.
And everything actually started when he was 5 years old. That's when you recognized some of the first potential symptoms that you should consult some doctors.
Exactly. He was our second child, and, I saw that he's different, but I could also say that my daughter is different, who is the, perfect middle or who is normal. Also, my brother and me, we are very different. So I really did not pay attention. And, I really did not see that anything is different from some, curve or middle, what is considered normal. And then we started to notice some things, especially when we got our third child, Max. Then we started to notice some differences that were a bit concerning. And then it was, by pure luck or a coincidence that my mother was watching an interview with the doctor from Kukuljevićeva in Zagreb.
That's hospital for those who don't know, yeah.
Yeah, it is a psychiatric hospital in Zagreb. And the doctor was explaining Asperger. And through these symptoms, my mother recognized Gabrijel and she called me, I think he might have this. And that's how our journey began. And it was not a very easy road, I must say, because even experts that time were not so familiar with Asperger, because we went to many experts and hospitals searching for solution, or at least that someone could tell us why is he different, or not why, but how can we handle this different? And they all said, no, not a chance that he has autism. And I was very careful when I was talking to doctors, because I did not want to come and say, yeah, I think he has autism, like an authority, because, that is definitely their area. So I wanted, just to point the facts, or maybe my suspicion that he could have autism. They all said, no, not a chance. He's not behaving like an autistic child. And then we would come home and I would think, oh my God, am I crazy? And then, the doctors would say, you're just a parent that wants his child to be sick. And that was very devastating for me, because I know I'm not. And I just want to help my child. It was very hard also to fight, so to say, with our members of the closest family, because they also said, he's so smart, he's reading, he likes dinosaurs. How do you mean there is something wrong with him? How do you mean he's different? And I was always the bad guy, because I was trying to find out what is this different and how we can handle tough situations like screaming, hitting us, and he was hitting also himself in the head. And but at the end, we finally got to good place for diagnostics. It was in Zagreb, and it was educational rehabilitation faculty in Zagreb. And we finally got the diagnosis for Asperger. And believe it or not, that time I didn't want to say anything. I just said, I don't know what's wrong with my child, and we are here to check if he maybe has some sort of autism or something. Then the experts really confirmed that he has Asperger. And, believe it or not, I was at the same time thrilled and scared. So I started to cry and started to laugh because no, I'm not crazy, and to cry, okay, what do we do now?
It took you 3 years, I believe, to get the diagnosis. How did that 3 years feel?
Well, we got the diagnosis when he was 8, and he was in the 2nd grade and already half the school year. And it was very painful during those 3 years, because he started going to school. He had problems with writing, and, all these different things started to show even more. And he had meltdowns in school, and, it got very hard for the teacher, for other students, also for us. He was frequently sent to this psychologist in school. I was searching for a solution. And when we finally received the paper that confirms that he is different, it was a big relief, but I didn't want to give up on maybe submitting to the rules of our system. I know that we got the certain, let's say, roadmap for the things that might help Gabrijel in school. And as our system in Croatia is very rigid, we needed to wait until September so we can apply those rules, those new things that could help him. Of course, it was February and we had 4 months of school year, and I really did not want him to suffer another 4 months. So I really, did my best to make these things happen for him. For example, he needed an assistant at school, and it was impossible to do that. We should wait until September, but I went to our regional, the leader for schooling of our region, director, or I don't know how it is called in English. And I said, well, he needs this. He needs an assistant. He said, no, you have to wait until September. I said, can we have a volunteer? Yes, you can. Who can decide on this? Schoolmaster. Great. Thank you very much. Then I went to a schoolmaster and said, look, we really need a volunteer. This guy that is in charge for schooling in our our region said, we can get a volunteer, so please make it happen. And then the master was really, really good, and we finally got a volunteer. Željka was really amazing, and she started to work with Gabrijel already in February. And of course, she did not volunteer. We really paid her from our own pockets because we knew that he needs help. And then he started really thriving at school.
Amazing. And when did you move to Austria?
We moved to Austria when Gabrijel finished the 4th grade. I was really, scared how it is going to be in 5th grade, because kids in the 5th grade, they move from class to class. They have 13 different teachers. I knew these teachers. They were not happy that they will have to adapt their program for one kid. I didn't really want to take on chances. So I suggested to my husband, I said, I really cannot do this on my own, because I was an entrepreneur. I was flexible with my time, with my working hours. So I would run from my office to pick up Gabrijel, to come home, to try and do the homework, which lasted for 2 or 3 hours because he could not concentrate. I was working at the same time on my laptop, and I knew what the 5th grade means. And I said, I cannot do this. And I really did not have the system to support me in that. That's why we decided to move to Austria in 2018. And I really expected a lot from this, how would I say, maybe more arranged or more organized system. And it is better, but it is not what I have expected, actually.
Could you clarify what did you expect and how they did not fulfill those expectations?
I really expected that he will have full support at school. For example, if he needs to, practice writing or do some, exercises that are good for his graphomotor skills or concentration, that he will have support there. I thought that he will have psychologist there and maybe some kind of psychotherapy. I thought that, they have small classes. For example, eight kids and 2 teachers. But still, it was a bit shock for Gabrijel because other kids in his class had severe autism or more severe. They were more severe cases. They were maybe repeating some same words, and he really did not have friends, or it was maybe 1 or 2 people or students he could talk to, but they were older than him. And the others were really not verbal or just, repeating the same words. So it was a bit shock for him, and he developed selective mutism. And he did not speak a word for 4 years at school.
And then how is he doing these last couple of years after? Is there more grades than eighth grade?
Well, the good thing is that we moved from Vienna 2.5 years ago in a smaller town. We moved to Eisenstadt. This is also the capital of one region in Austria. And they have also here Sonderschule, or school for special kids. And he's going to this school. And from the first day, he started talking, which is really amazing, because I thought that it will be even more shocking for him, because in this school, this is not school like in Vienna that is specialized for autistic kids, but here are kids with all kinds of disabilities, in wheelchairs and with Down syndrome. And I thought that this will be, even more shocking for him, but no, he feels like home here. And as I said, from the first day, he started talking in class, and I started crying, of course, when he started to talk on his first day, because we spent 4 years trying to get him talk in class. But yeah, it was something more that really, was stopping him from saying a word at school.
Yeah, you really had a roller coaster of emotions throughout this past 17 years, I guess.
Yes.
And what are Gabrijel's strengths? Where do you think he excels at?
I would say he is the way he thinks, the way he sees things. His perspective is, sometimes really refreshing, because, you keep running in circles. You cannot get out with the way you think. And then he comes with something so simple. And then you just stop, oh my God, how I did not think of that. That's one thing. And another thing, he really sticks to schedule. So you cannot believe that we never, ever needed to, force him to go to sleep. And when he was little, oh, it's 9, I have to go to sleep. He would take his blanket and just go to bed. So, he's really, when you say something, when he was on gluten-free and this dairy-free diet, he would not eat something with gluten and dairy inside. Not a chance. So, when he makes up his mind, he is, totally into it. He's so disciplined. When I said he's thin, he is, he loves Japan and everything that is Japanese. And also Japanese people have this, I don't know how method, or I don't know how to call it. They eat until they are 80% full. And he's using this method when he's eating. And no matter how, yummy something is, he says, okay, that's enough. I wish I had this discipline, but no.
We could all use some of Gabrijel's traits for our character development. And now let's conclude this part of your episode. What would you like to share with parents who might be just finding about the diagnosis of their children, or they doubt they should maybe seek professional help about some aspect of their lives?
Well, I would say don't give up. I know you are scared, and it is scary when you know that there is something different, or your child is different. But try to look and also some positive things in that. I know it's hard, but you have such an amazing child with a totally different brain, different way of thinking. They are so honest. They are not lying. They will honestly tell you what they think about those pants and how do you look in those pants. And this is really refreshing. You will have to adapt your life, your family, your routines, your home maybe as well. But all these changes are going to help your child. And this is the most important thing. The most important thing is that you encourage your child and give your best so your child can reach their full potential. And this is why we are here. I believe our kids, our special kids, are our gifts. And there is definitely something that we still need to learn when we got our special kids.
Thank you, Maja, so much for joining me.
Thank you, Clara, for inviting me.
We will leave your information down below. And of course, also thank you to the Erasmus Plus program of European Union for funding this project. All opinions are our own. Dear listener or watcher, please follow on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Until the next time, bye-bye.